Hi readers, welcome back to my channel. Lee here, and I am going to try at least once a week do a book review post. I've done my weekend books, I've done some other kind of challenges, and I really want to get more into reviewing so that I can remember what I read as well and share really great books with you. Now, I was going to do this review on Scream for Me by Karen Rose. This is from 2008. It's not a new book. It's a book that I have some issues with, but not enough to keep me reading her again. Apologize for the sun. It's late afternoon and it's going in and out. But then, and you'll see this on shorts if you follow me in a few days, I went out on the recommendation of an individual who I respect their opinions on books, and I bought this book, We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kliewer. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I bought that yesterday afternoon. Yesterday in my world is like Monday, and I sat down to read it and forgot about doing anything else for the rest of the evening. All I did, I read this book until I was finished with it. It is 308 pages, and it was fantastic. At this point, I've decided that horror books are not going to scare me anymore. Stephen King ruined that for me in a good way, and I've not read anything scary in decades. But if this is how horror is going to be moving forward, I'm here for it. I was not scared. I'm going to read you the blurb here in a second, but I wanted to start by saying this. Have you ever had one of those dreams where you're trying to get somewhere, but every time you move, things change around you? This is what that book reminded me of. And like I said, this is 5 stars. So let me tell you about it. It's blurbed as Get Out meets Parasite in this early haunting debut and Reddit hit. It started on Reddit. Soon to be a major motion picture, which I will watch, about 2 homeowners whose lives are turned upside down when the house's previous residents unexpectedly visit. Now, let's see what happens. As a young queer couple who flip houses, Charlie and Eve can't believe the killer deal they just got on an old house in a picturesque neighborhood. As they're working on renovations one day, there's a knock on the door. A man stands there with his family, claiming to have lived there years before and asking if it would be all right if he showed his kids around. People pleaser to a fault, Eve lets them in. As soon as the strangers enter the home, uncanny and inexplicable things start happening, including the family's youngest child going missing and a ghostly presence materializing in the basement. Even weirder, the family can't seem to take the hint and that their visit should be over. And when Charlie suddenly vanishes, Eve slowly loses her grip on reality. Something is terribly wrong with the house and with the visiting family. Or is Eve just imagining things? This book has some twists and turns, and like I said, it reminds me of one of those dreams where we are trying to get somewhere and then you never can make it and things change. One moment you're here in this place and the next moment you're someplace else, walking through doors that lead to places that aren't where you thought they would be. There is a lot of found footage, I guess I'll call, in this book. I really appreciated that, and there is something extra that I've not seen anybody else mention. I am going to try to I'm going to try to cover up what I did, but at the bottom of each of the found footage portions, I don't know if you can see it right above my finger, there's some dashes and some dots. And I went past the first one, and I was like, And then I got to the second found footage thing, and I found more dashes and dots. And I thought, So I found online a thing that would help me interpret the dashes and dots, and I decoded the message at the end of each found footage portion. I guess I'm calling it found footage. Sometimes it's transcript, so it's almost like evidence in some kind of crime, some case or something like that. Anywho, that was fun. It helped me interact with the book, and it made it, like I said, a more interactive experience. Like I was engaging with the book and with the author and the characters almost. I do think that there are some, not plot holes, but where it started to show you something and it could have, I wanted to go more down that lane, but then again, you switch up to another place or perspective, just like a dream. And I thoroughly enjoyed this. I will definitely read Marcus Kliewer's next book, and yes, perfect. This is going to go up there as one of my favorite novels. This is one I feel like I could reread later and get something new from it. So, highly recommend We Used to Live Here if you like kind of suspense, and we'll call it horror because I think that some people said it really did scare them. It just didn't for me. I'm kind of numb to being afraid of books. So, anywho, highly recommend this. If you haven't heard of this book, check it out. If your library doesn't have it, I would request it. Excellent, excellent reading. And this is a debut novel. Floored. That's all for me. I will try to be back next week with another book review. Who knows what it'll be on. Next week is July, and in July, I'm going to do at least a week or two, we'll see how it goes, Christmas in July reading. As always, thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate your time, and I'd love to hear what you're reading down in the comments. Happy reading!